What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. A lot of good shit to talk about this week. First things first. This weekend, I rewatched Toy Story 1. First time I watched it in probably, I don't know, maybe like, it was a long time, but fantastic movie. Like, damn. And then I looked it up, and it came out in 1995. So, like, I was 5 years old whenever the first Toy Story came out. And that's crazy to think about for me, I guess. It's, the movie's almost 25 years old. It's fucked up to think about that. I guess, we're just getting old. But I'm preparing for, I want to go see the new Toy Story. It just came out. And supposedly it's fire. I mean, why wouldn't it be? All the Pixar movies are fire. Lion King just came out. And that's going to be super dope. I hate on the live action shit for sure. But, I mean, Lion King looks sick. The preview looks sick. But I heard Aladdin was sick too. So, I mean, I'm going to have to check these things out. Perfect thing to do in the summertime because it's fucking hot as a bitch out there. I feel like a fucking turtle in a tank. It's all just humidity. Today you walk outside, you just get wet, and I don't like it at all. And it's way too much, but definitely a movie. I mean, you think about it. You go see a movie in the summertime, you're getting AC all day, or at least for as long as you're in there. But anyway, so I got a bunch of shit in. All right, I've been telling you, I'm having shirts coming in. I got a bunch of shit in. I got 2 brand new shirts, the flavor scripts. I got a pink one. I got a white one. Real dope shirts, like super nice, super soft. And I ain't taxing $20 for a t-shirt. Come on now. Don't act like you ain't got a dub for a t-shirt. A dope one too. It's a dope t-shirt. Made in Pittsburgh by, I got a Pittsburgh artist because I'm terrible with I don't got no pen game, but, my business is words, right? My business is words, but I hit up, my friends and, like people that I like and I fuck with. And like, I got my dude to do a dope ass logo, just a simple script and, it got flavor. So that's why it's called Flavor. That's the flavor script. And, his name is Murals and that. So if you want to look up his work on Instagram, it's at Murals N, the letter N at Murals and at. You got it? So look him up. Definitely dope shit. And then I work with a company called Revival Print Co. They're in Lawrenceville. And it's someone that I've been working with for since I've been doing like Lost Boy shit in like 2011. So like almost a decade. And this dude is always done good shit for me. And he does good work. Check his shit out. Revival Print Co. in Lawrenceville. But I got these shirts out. They're available right now on my website, www.I'llCallYouRightBack.com. Like I said, go on there. And honestly, I didn't get too many made, and I'm thankful for it, but a few of them are selling, so you better jump on it real quick. Also, I got the meanest stickers ever made. A dude named Tyler Rulo, he, I met him through OneUp. And I needed to get some stickers made, and I like fucking with people that are local. We live in Pittsburgh. There's people that do anything we need. Why not get them to do it? Give back to what it is. Patronize the people that you fuck with. You know what I mean? It's like you're helping them out, and they're helping you out. Like, it's dope to be able to put that shit together. And shout out to OneUp for linking us. But his name is at RU770, not 0. At RU770. But yeah, dude, hit him up, and like any stickers or vinyl you need, like he's nice. He's nice with it. But I'm pumped about these stickers. I'll be posting them on the website here soon. But you know what? If you fuck with the podcast, throw me a DM. I'll send you some stickers. Like, and it's nothing. Really, really cool. I got another dope design for Murals in that. He just has like some, quick script, and it came out so sick. It actually wasn't even supposed to be that sticker. It was supposed to be that flavor script, but I sent him the wrong fucking email, and he printed the wrong. He printed the right thing. He printed the email that I sent that was wrong, and it turned out to just look so dope, and I was pumped about it. But then I got artwork done by a dude named Dirty Bird, DERTY BIRD, Dirty Bird, on Instagram, and he. Another sick ass fucking artist from Pittsburgh that's just out there killing it. I'm trying to get an interview with him. I've been working on it, but I got some dope shit coming. A lot of good episodes coming. This is a special week, So for the reason everyone's here, we got a special week. It's Tuesday. Everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? It's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. So we got an extra one to help us get through this damn work week, because you already know next week, 4th of July, short week for people that hopefully you have 4th of July off. But this week I'm talking to a dude named his name is Justin Pitcavish, or JP. I know him by JP. That's how he introduced himself to me, or at Lazy Japan on Instagram. And he is one half of a the whole point of this podcast. We couldn't really put a finger on it, but it's basically like an indie hip hop group out of Pittsburgh called BBGuns, at BBGuns PGH on Instagram. And they are, like I said, they're like indie hip hop. It's like a hip hop heartbeat over like any type of beat you could imagine. And they're so interesting. Like, they're crazy interesting, crazy unique. And I've honestly never heard anyone like them. And they got a new album coming out on June 28th called Help Yourself. And it's super dope. I got it early. That's why we're doing it this week. It's a special week. They got this album coming out, and he's one half of the group. So on Thursday, we're going to hear from Rappin' Ass Joel. Rappin' Ass Joel is a cool ass dude that, both of these guys were awesome. And like, I interview people separately because like everyone knows BBGuns, but like you might not know Joel and JP. You know what I mean? So like I wanted to interview them separately because like they both have like different stories. So for today, we're going to get in it with Justin, or JP, and it's super dope conversation. Like, me and him have a lot of similar, things coming up. Like, played football our whole lives, fucked with like nerdy shit like Magic and like D&D and everything. And it's just a really good conversation. It's real interesting to hear about these dudes after listening to their music, because you're like, where the hell did they come from, and like, why the hell do they sound like that? And I'm pumped about it. And so before the interview, I got their single. I after I'm like talking them up and all and everything, I want you to hear what their music sounds like. So I have their single. It's called Valley, and I'm gonna play that, and then the intro is gonna kick. So without further ado, episode 76 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with JP of BBGuns.
Like gold mines. Forgot to call you sorry, guess the fault's mine. Oh fuck it, I'm struggling in the quicksand. I've been bugging a couple months, but I'm living. Got a crutch for a cutter, but it's some thick pants. But I'm dumb enough to get stuck in something I can't stand. I'm blowing weed smoke since the weed blows. Keep on sleeping on a dream, the whole team's woke. Creep up on the scene, you know we bleed blokes. There's people in the meeting, need no. No need to explain this man's ramble. The only thing is ain't shit changed from this angle. And what remains are the same things I can't handle. You get paid for the ratings, baby, you get canceled. I know what it's like. 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 I know what it's like.
My pen laborious, allegories pouring from my orifice. These northern nights is nice, I'm feeling gorgeous. Now that we have toured a bit, how long you gonna ignore the shit? Running out of patience for this fake shit, I've grown bored of it. Revel in the fact that we rebels of this rap game. Pedal to the mat, I ain't settling for last place. Pedal with the dabs, pedal pack just to stack, man. Bag of acid tabs, keep me rolling like a craps game. We keep it pushing like a sumo while you throw salt. And hit the devil in his, I know that's a close call. From this position, my mission's fixing my own faults. Had to crack the code so I could open up the stone vault. I was blind, now I'm seeing through the bullshit. And I be spying how they lying in the pulpit. These shepherds lepers be steady pulling the wool quick. Deception's a weapon and I reckon they keep a full clip.
I know what it's like. 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 La 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 la. I don't want you to go. La 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 la. I say I will, but I won't. La 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 la. I don't want you to go. La 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 la. I gotta do, but I don't.
I know what it's like with my eyes closed. High notes amplified by the blindfold. I know what it's like with my eyes closed. High notes amplified by the blindfold. I know what it's like with my eyes closed. High notes amplified by the blindfold. I know what it's like with my eyes closed. High notes amplified by the blindfold.
I gotta use the telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll call you right back podcast. Like I would get to the office and I would just listen to shit all day.
That's what I do.
From I would just have I would listen to shit because for 4 years I was commuting like 3 hours a day, so I would just rip through podcasts.
Oh yeah, that's I have an office job and I listen to a lot of podcasts. I actually watch anime at work a lot because it's like super dialogue based, so I don't need to like be staring at it all the time.
Yeah, you can just listen to it.
So I can just basically I glance to do my work. You know, if I have to answer a phone, I just pause it. But yeah, I'm big on that. I'm a big multitasker and media consumer.
Me too. So what do you do for an office job?
I am an insurance adjuster.
How is it?
It's boring, but I mean, it honestly is not that bad. You handle like auto accident claims, but it's like more. I deal with more medical stuff, but I look at a lot of medical records and I talk to people on the phone, and that's about it.
Yeah,
but I have to like. There's a lot of busy work too, so I get a lot of shit watching in while I'm at work.
Oh, I'm sure. I just I basically sit at a desk and I design piping. Like people ask for piping, and I get to draw pipes all day.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I guess I feel like it's probably as exciting as you feel about your job.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't hate my job.
Yeah, I don't hate it. It's tolerable. It's a necessary evil.
Yeah. I've definitely had worse jobs in my life.
Absolutely. I mean, if you can go to work and not be like, and not loathe your job. Like my job I had before this, I wanted to fucking die every single day. I hated it more than anything, but I like my job now, so fortunate for that. But I appreciate you driving over here. How was traffic?
Actually, wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad at all.
That's not bad.
I definitely overestimated how long it was going to take to get here, so I'm glad.
And you said you live where?
I live in Bloomfield right now.
Okay, so like that's not terrible.
No, actually, it would have been way fast to go straight here, but I ended up stopping home and feeding my cat, and that was about a half hour, and then it was about a half hour to get here.
My dad called me last night, and I was like, "Yo, what's up? What are you doing?" He was like, "I'm catching cats," and I was like, "What?" And he was like, "I'm catching cats." I was like, "What do you mean?" And he said that I guess like him and my mom seen like kittens in our backyard, like in this stone pile we had. So my dad was out there like trying to like wrangle them up and like take them to like a no-kill shelter or something, and he fucking saw one go into this like tube we had it's like his old piece of PVC, and he like just grabbed like a bin, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pour it out into this bin," and like 5 of them came out.
Wow!
So he just had like 5 kittens, and then he was like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do with these?" Because they were super small. And then my mom was like, "Oh, I think I see the mom," but there was just mass chaos of him trying to catch this mom, and they had like a baby, like a day pen, like a kid pen, where it had like a zipper on the top, so like none of them could dip out. But the lady that he called for the rescue, he was like, "Listen, lady, this mother cat is a little bit aggressive and psychotic, so just watch out." She fucking opened it, and it jumped out into his garage. He has this big like 900 square foot garage, and now there's just a big ass pissed off cat in there.
Oh man!
So
jeez.
He just called me today, and he was like, "I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do."
Yeah, they don't like being confined. That's for sure.
Not one bit. Cats are cool though. Like I wanted to take one of these kittens because they look incredible, but I have a terrible allergy to them, so I was like, "Fuck it." Anyway, you guys make insane music.
Wow, thanks.
I'm definitely new to it. I'm definitely I was completely fresh.
A recent convert.
A recent convert for sure. So where did you are you guys both from the same area?
Yeah, we went to the same high school. I guess Brackenridge is the town that we're both from. It's like near like the Pittsburgh Mills Mall, like in Trent Heights.
Yeah, my wife is from Oakmont.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, that's not
there.
far. Yeah.
We frequent over there.
Yeah.
That's why whenever you were
28.
like, he's out in New Kent, I was like, fuck, I feel bad to like have him drive here. It's
Oh, yeah. This is the opposite side of the city from New Kent for sure.
the absolute opposite. That's why whenever we go see my in-laws, I'm just like, God damn it. Got to drive all the way up through 28. And 28's always a fucking mess.
Yeah.
But so like, how old are you?
I am 29. I'm old.
I mean, I'm 28. I'm about to be 29 in like 3 weeks. So I would
The clock's ticking for me. I'm not looking. I turned the dirty 30 in September.
That's whatever.
I'm not
you really
looking
feel
forward
old? Or do you genuinely not like to grow older?
I don't think I would be worried about it. It's just like it's like aging alongside of chasing the music thing.
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, it's like I could be putting this energy into like longer term plans instead of going for things. Like it's just opportunity costs of going for the music thing, and it would put all my outside of work energy into that.
That makes sense.
So like, the older I get, the more I feel like that I have to reevaluate that.
See, like I feel like that me doing this podcast, like I've been doing this podcast for like a year and a half now, and I think like with age, I'm not really like worried about that as far as like a project. I can understand how you mean with music though, but like I get freaked out about dying. Like,
oh yeah, that's my biggest fear.
Biggest fear in the
big old fear
entire world. Like I'll catch myself. The other day I watched this video of this old man singing a song to his wife in hospice, and like that was like one of the first time my wife seen me like completely.
Yeah, that would
just
trigger
break
me.
down.
Yeah, that would trigger my fear real bad.
Oh, I sat on this couch and just cried.
I wouldn't even be able to. Like you just tell me about that description is getting me all twisted up.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Let's pull you out of there.
Let's climb on out.
It's fucked up to think about though. Like I mean, when you're young, you don't fucking think about anything that has to
I've
do with
always
that?
been thinking about death.
Really?
Yeah, I had
He said, I've always been thinking about death.
yeah, since I was a little kid. It's bad. We're getting real fast. I had aplastic anemia when I was a kid, which is like kind of like leukemia. I was like a Make-A-Wish kid.
Oh, yeah?
So like in like kindergarten, preschool age. So like
Say it one more time.
aplastic anemia.
Aplastic anemia.
Yeah, nowadays it's like there's a lot more that they can do for it, but back in 1991 or whatever,
Yeah, it's probably still kind of fresh.
yeah. So like, I was like a Make-A-Wish kid to like I feel like saying that like they don't throw that out to any old kid. So, but I'm here, I'm living and everything. But I think I had to confront death at a very young age. Like I was questioning religion at a very young age.
Yeah.
Not to like, not that there's anything wrong with anything.
Let me just start you off here. This podcast, I'm sure you've never listened to any of them yet. Like this is, I'm not like, you could say whatever on here. I'm not someone that's going to be like, if you don't fucking like religion, like this is pretty broad and open.
Disclaimer for listeners, I try to be open. I'm not like I don't hate on what other people are into.
No, I don't hate on it at all, but it's just like I'm super transparent about everything. So like I just like talking about it, but that makes sense. So you were like, your condition was like, could have been fatal?
Yeah, but it was supposed to be, yeah. Like, they didn't really know what they were doing. I was on, like, experimental drugs and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's a crazy story, really, but, but I'm a regular guy now.
Yeah, you're regular now. I mean,
Yeah,
I would have never guessed.
I know, it's weird. It's weird.
It
was a significant part of my very early life.
So when were you, like, out of the woods with that?
Probably not until, probably like, 4th grade, maybe 3rd grade.
Wow.
Because I wasn't allowed to do sports or recess, like outside recess, because if I fell and got hurt, I could die. Because like I couldn't heal, my like bruises don't heal and stuff. But then I was allowed to play football by 4th grade, so I obviously I had to be cool. By then,
just fucking toss him in there, he'll be fine.
I used to get giant bruises, but they said it was all right. Like they just had to monitor it.
That's weird. My cousin, he's in the military, and he got like medically discharged because he has like some condition that he gets like crazy bruising, like he could bleed a lot. It's almost like being anemic or something.
Yeah.
That no one knows what it was, so they had to medically discharge him. He still doesn't. They still.
They don't know what
it
is.
They have no idea. He's been to like numerous doctors and shit. They just have no clue what it is. But before we get too deep into it, I do a segment to open this podcast. It's called "What's in the Cup." What's in the cup? So what's in your cup?
The drink, you mean?
Yeah.
I have dragon fruit vitamin water.
Dragon fruit vitamin water. I'm not like a crazy big fan of vitamin water. I've had it on here a couple of times because people have picked it, but I fuck with liquids. The reason I get everyone a drink
Liquids
is
are cool.
because like what's a better feeling than like rolling to a gas station and like grabbing your fucking favorite drink and just jamming music and everything. And if people are gonna drive here, I want to get them something decent. You know what I mean?
No, it's a nice thing to come to.
Nice gesture.
And that's probably my go-to gas station drink. If put gun to my head, I'd probably get a dragon fruit.
Gun to my head, dragon fruit.
Yeah.
I've had dragon fruit, like an actual dragon fruit, and I just wasn't a fan of it at all.
Really? It just tastes like plums.
Yeah.
This drink does, I mean.
Yeah, like that doesn't taste like the actual fruit.
Oh, okay.
And I just
never
wasn't.
had one.
It was weird. It tasted like.
I didn't even know it was a real thing.
Yeah, it tasted like cleaner, like some sort of like cleaner. I don't know. It was weird.
Oh.
I had it in California.
Wow.
So you guys just came out with this music video called Valley. And that is the single.
We did that in California.
I noticed.
I wasn't sure that was a planned segue.
Well, that's a good segue.
Good
I was
host.
like, that's a perfect segue to get into it.
Yeah.
See, I'm a professional up in this motherfucker.
Yeah, I jumped on it. I should let it unfold.
But you guys did this video, and I think I think my first exposure to you guys was from Bruzzy Turek. He showed me the video. amateur fucking move. I said I'm a professional, and then my text goes
Yep,
on.
you jinx yourself.
Terrible. But Buzzy showed me the Lost Soul video that you and Joel recorded in Century 3 Mall. That was my first exposure to you guys, and then Circles was the next one, and then after that I kind of just dove into it a little bit.
Yeah, those are the two best. Those are the two, probably the two best ones up to this point.
Now, for you to be from like New Ken area, how did you like? Where's your tie with like Century 3 Mall?
I'm a big fan of malls. Period.
Yeah.
I like walking around malls. I think it's like, I like taking walks. Period. And you can walk around malls at all times of the year. You know, and look at shit. And there's people watch or whatever. So I've visited my fair share of malls, but I had a friend that was from that area, and I knew that Century 3 used to be. It's a giant mall, or it was a giant mall. It was like
insane.
the biggest one of the whole area.
It was insane.
So I wanted to see it, and I saw it, and I saw how bad shape it was in, and like parts of it were blocked off or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this would be so cool for a music video. Like
it was a dope video. I was like, damn, like Century 3 Mall, like that's a cool idea.
Yeah, it was because it's kind of vaporwave, and it's also which was like what we were trying to get, all that aesthetic, which is how old now, but at the time it was still kind of relevant, and like the decaying capitalism or whatever, like that kind of a thing.
Yeah, like you guys have like some crazy underlying meanings of shit in your lyrics.
Yeah, we're about that.
Like
I'm about
100%. You guys have some like wild ass shit because like I'm definitely a music guy. I like music, but I'm not someone that is like I'm not gonna like I've listened to Biggie Smalls probably 1,000 times, and I still don't know all the words or anything. I just like the vibe of it all. But you guys have a wild vibe, and like, what would you consider yourselves like as far as genre?
Oh man, see, I used to really care about this, and now I'm trying to like let it go because like I can't tell people what we are. Like people have to just perceive and decide for themselves.
Yeah,
but I definitely. Hip hop is obviously the big component, but it's like indie pop in like an indie vibes probably mixed with like all indie alternative, like 90s alternative. There's like a dance. There's also a dance component to it.
Yeah, it's like everything. It's like a mutt almost. It's like you have definitely like a real like hard hip hop like underlying tone to it. But like I also hear like I said to you, it's like it sounds like some crazy mix of like White Stripes with like Blister in the Sun, shit like that.
Oh, I love that. Violent Femme's one of my favorite bands ever.
It's just like it's
that was a good drop.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad that vibed well.
Yeah,
with you
that's like a quintessential indie rock band, like 80s indie rock band. But like we don't play guitar, like so there's not the rock, but we have the vibes.
It's the vibes of it.
Yeah,
it's very, very unique. And once like you hit me up, I was like, BBGuns. Like I think I know. I think I've heard of them before, and then I just started diving through, and I was like, damn, like never heard of this shit before. So like, I'm real curious to like where you kind of took inspiration from. Like so, like whenever you were younger, like. I mean, you just told me that you almost fucking died. But besides for you almost dying, like, I mean, like, what were you into?
I've always been a pretty well-rounded person. Like I played sports, but I've also been a really big nerd my whole life. Like I've always liked Star Wars, and I've always obsessed over like a thing, and I wanted to know everything about it, like Pokemon or whatever.
You're a Pokemon player?
Oh yeah, and then I went straight into Magic from that.
Oh, I was a Magic. I was never into Pokemon.
I was Pokemon at first, and then I got converted into Magic because like all the older, cooler kids were playing Magic, and I just watched, and I was like, man, this is so much cooler.
Yeah, so much cooler. You look at like a Pikachu, and then you look at like any of the Magic cards, and you're like. So much more sick.
Yeah, like 4th grade was Pokemon, 5th grade was Magic. I think that's when I changed over.
For sure. I mean, like that was definitely a peak thing in the 90s. Absolutely a peak thing in the 90s. But because I'm thinking like I definitely got into Magic from older siblings, like from like an older person. But like I was trying to think of like how like how it was back in the day, like as far
I know
as
how. I definitely know how I.
how'd you get into it?
Well, I'm like the older brother of the two of us, and nobody really at my school is into it. And I was like, 5th grade was like the end of elementary school, so you were like the oldest grade in the school.
Yeah.
But we used to go to on Monday nights. There was a card shop at this little mall. It's called the Highlands Mall, but it really wasn't a full mall. It was
Monday
like,
Night Magic.
Yeah, basically the same thing, but Pokemon and Magic, they'd have them on the same night. So like half the mall was Pokemon, half the mall, and Pokemon was at its peak popularity at the time. So there was a lot for both. And then eventually, like you just see some people drift over into the Magic because you'd be exposed to it. You'd see people playing it, and at first you'd be like, "Oh, what's that?" And then eventually you'd be like, "This is way cooler.
Yeah.
Like it's more badass art, and like it's more complicated, and there's just way more cards."
It just looks sicker. Like I think
I love the
everything
art.
about
I
it
fell
looks
in love with the art. Like,
absolutely.
I miss the aesthetic of 90s Magic cards.
I was just talking to, first off, before I get too heavy into it, do you remember back at Burger King whenever they had the trading card nights, whenever Pokemon kids would go there?
That was around the same time.
Yeah, I fucking remember that. That was the only time I was ever into Pokemon.
Okay,
and then I completely got, my older cousin ripped that away from me, and he was like, "You're not playing with that shit." And then he just threw some Magic cards at me and taught me that.
Yeah, I remember there was a lot of like, it was like there was like a trading card game fad around the time. Like
Star Wars had one.
Yeah, and there was like an MLB one and a Dragon Ball Z one.
Were you into Dragon Ball Z and shit too?
Oh, I was into Dragon Ball Z, but that wasn't until 6th grade, and I didn't play the cards. I just watched the shows.
As weird as it was, I skipped right over that. Like I hated Dragon Ball Z. I kind of skipped that whole cartoon phase.
I'm a big anime guy.
And now I'm starting to appreciate it way more. Like I knocked it for so long, and then my brother, who knocked it for just as long, he's 6 years older than me. He always puts me on to dope shit. He's the one who got me into movies. He was like, "Dude, you need to start watching anime." And I was like, "I ain't fucking watching anime." And then we started watching Attack on Titan.
That's a very good starter anime.
I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's a great show.
And I probably got like 25 episodes in, and I kind of just like fell off. Not because I disliked it, but it's intense.
Yo, it's an intense show.
Super intense. And I was like, damn. Like,
there's a new season out right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How many seasons are there?
This is the 3rd season, but it's like the second half of it. Like they split it in half.
Yeah.
So it's like the 15th episode of the 3rd season.
Yeah, because they have crazy episodes. I don't know. That's a fucked up show.
That's a good one to get you. Like, there's anime that are like your gateway anime. Like, it's a gateway drug, you know? Like, that's one of them.
He also told me of, was it Cowboy Bebop, maybe?
That's a good one. That's definitely, people consider that like the objectively best anime show.
Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah. I don't think it's my number one, but I think like across the board, people would agree that that's like one of the best ones ever.
Yeah, I mean, like from what I watched, I was like, this is definitely dope. It's not that I dislike the whole aspect of reading subtitles. I think I just
I watch them dubbed.
Oh, I'll read them. Like I'm fine with that, but it's just like I'm just not a crazy big fan of the art. Of like,
really?
I love art, obviously, but like Japanese art is like it's not like my favorite.
You just
know
don't
what I mean?
like that style. Yeah,
it's just not.
It's never been your thing.
It's not my favorite style. You know what I mean? It's just, but I mean, like whatever, to each your own. But Attack on Titan, that's a good one. I do like that. So now, where did
Joel loves anime too? We're both big anime heads.
Oh yeah.
Gamers and anime heads.
You're a video game guy too?
Oh yeah.
So whenever you were younger, was music like incorporated into your life? Like, were you always a big fan of music?
Oh yeah. I was in like church choir when I was real little, and I was always just like trying to perform. I remember I had this little like Tyco camera for kids that you could have, and then I put it on a little tripod, and I'd like videotape myself singing and dancing to songs. I was always obsessed with performing.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you listening to? Like, what was the first things that you remember listening to?
Well, the first things I remember listening to were probably the things that my parents were listening to, which would have been like definitely Nirvana and like Alice in Chains and like early grunge or like late hair metal, and then like, but then also like the Beatles or like I remember Alanis, but that was probably like I was like getting a little older then. Yeah, I remember a lot of Atlantis, like 90s stuff. Because my parents had me when they were 20, so they were listening to what was happening at the time.
That makes sense.
So I heard a lot of 90s pop in general, rock and whatever.
Yeah, I feel like that listening to, how old is Joel? Same age?
I think he's like a year and a half younger than me. 2 years younger than me.
So it's basically the same like era of growing up in it all.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I mean, I would never know. Half the people that come in here, like I feel like that's a good way to gauge people. Like if people were, 35, 36, like I could kind of find a through line with that. But I mean, like you're pretty much my same age. But,
yeah.
So you were always into performing. Now, were you performing like in school? Like, were you in what were they like performances in school and shit?
I didn't do theater until high school, but I did chorus as soon as I could.
Yeah.
4th grade on through the whole thing. Well, my dad was not very supportive. I wanted to be in band, and my dad didn't want to get me a instrument, so then I did chorus instead, and then I just kept doing that, and then I did musical in high school.
See, that's one thing I've never done. What was that like?
Musical?
You enjoyed it?
Yeah. I mean, you have to do. It's just a cheese factor. Like you have to be okay with the cheesiness of a lot of stuff of musical theater. But once you buy into that, like it's a lot of fun. A lot of chicks, or people to date.
Yeah.
Like it was like and I played football too, so like I came from that, and it was like two different worlds. Like where I was like not the coolest guy on the football team, but I'd come to musical and I felt like a big fish in a pond. You know?
It's like kind of a jock singing.
Yeah,
and
I don't know. It was I don't know. It was cool. Like sometimes I probably acted like a dick to like people that weren't, or whatever. Like I wasn't, but I'm sure that like I could get a little full of myself, and I like had good parts. I did well.
Now
it was a good experience. I feel like I'm tainting the story.
Why are you tainting it?
Because I'm trying to be honest about things.
That's all it is here in honesty.
Honesty.
So
clean.
You played football for how long?
Like 10 years.
Me too. When did you start?
I was probably first allowed in 4th grade, and then or 4th or 5th grade, because of the sick stuff, and then I played through 2 years of college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was D3 though.
That's all right.
It's like
hey, don't brush it away like that.
It's like fucking JV.
Now, was your high school team like decent?
Yeah, we won our section. And we went to the playoffs, but we lost in like the 3rd round.
I mean, I was a captain my senior year.
I was a captain my senior year.
Didn't win a game.
Oh, damn.
Didn't
what
win a
high
game.
school did you go to?
Elizabeth Forward.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Didn't win a game. We played against like Thomas Jefferson and shit, who were pretty much like grooming NFL football stars.
Yeah, they were the cream of the crop of AAA.
Lucas Nix was my enemy whenever we would play Thomas Jefferson. He played for the fucking Oakland Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
He was like 6'5", like 290 pounds, but he was just a fucking brick shit house. It was like wrestling a bear. But football, I think about it now that I'm a little bit older, and like I start listening to like all the CTE talk and like all the shit with. Did you ever hear of Gladiator? Gladiator's a podcast about Aaron Hernandez.
No.
Do you know who Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah, the murderer.
Man,
he was pretty good too.
It's seriously one of my favorite. Like I'm a huge podcast guy. I've been listening for like 10 years. One of my favorites of all time. It's only like 8 episodes. It's a real quick listen. And if you played football and like, I think like anyone would enjoy it. But if you played football and like you kind of know a little bit about it, it's fucking crazy to listen to. I would suggest it.
Are they trying to say that CTE made him a murderer?
Well, they said that his brain was equivalent to like a 93-year-old man's.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, and like if you listen to like all the shit in the podcast,
he died, huh?
He killed himself in jail.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he fucking hung himself.
I don't know why I forgot that he died.
It's like it's such a bizarre era of like.
I almost want to Google it, but I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, wait for it. Yeah, I'm going to Google it.
I'm going to read the wiki while we talk.
You should definitely listen to it, though. It's worth it. But I think about, like, whenever I was younger, like, none of my football coaches, like, like we both were in the era of like, don't be a pussy, rub some dirt on it and get back out there.
Yeah, definitely in my Pee Wee days, it was definitely like that. I think, it was still very much the case.
Yeah, I mean, in high school, did you ever have any single person looking at you saying like, "Hey, you might have"?
I definitely had concussions and went in.
100%,
at least one.
100%,
maybe, definitely one. Because I remember
you play?
It. What do you mean?
What position did you play?
Oh, I was an offensive guard and D line.
I was a center and a center guard and a nose tackle. And it's just like, you think about it, you think of it, every single play, big ass people are just banging their heads into each other.
Immediately. Immediately.
And it's fucked up.
And then I always think, is it worse for the linemen because like they're close to each other banging heads, or like running backs who have to get smashed by every play?
That's not the question to ask. The question to ask is it good for anyone?
No, I know. I'm just thinking me versus the guy that I'm trying to protect.
It's fucked up though. It's like, you think about it, and like there was times where I was on like I played kick return too.
Oh, that's the worst.
Or
Special
kickoff.
teams is the worst.
It was the worst, but like we had like 7 seniors my senior year, so like it was like a small team. It was very, very. That's why we didn't win a fucking game.
Yeah,
but
there you go. Yeah.
I remember just running, like sprinting down and just like running into small people as hard as I could, and I'm just like, that's fucked up. It's football was weird back in the day. It's weird for sure. I would have played golf now if I could go back.
I hate golf, but I hate golf, but I don't know. I was good at football, and I liked it, and I like it now. I don't know if I'd let my kid play it.
Yeah.
But I don't regret playing.
I don't regret it, but
I'm definitely glad I stopped, and I don't want to play ever again.
Yeah.
And like even when I quit, like I don't feel bad about quitting. Like,
where'd you go to school at?
I went to school at St. Vincent's, and then I transferred out to CCAC. That's why I stopped playing. I didn't get good grades at St. Vincent's. It's hard to get the grades and footballs.
Yeah.
College football, even D3 is all day.
I had like grants to go to Waynesburg to play, and I remember going there and touring it, and I was like, not a chance, because I knew someone that was already there playing in college, and he was like, it's literally all you do from sun up to sundown. You're just playing football, and it takes up your life.
Meetings, lifting, 3-hour practices.
And then I was just like, I mean, I don't want to give my life to football, especially if I hated the campus, though. That was the main thing. I had a buddy who played on St. Vincent's team. His name was Justin Lipinski. He played St. Vincent's the whole 4 times up there. I've been to a few games. Were you guys good? Now, was St. Vincent's good at football?
No, they were a new program. It was like the 3rd year when my freshman year, so they didn't win any that year. I think they started winning after I quit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, are you doing music through football? Like while you're in high school and shit like that?
That was the thing, is that my dad was all about football, so it was like he'd be paying for personal trainers. He wouldn't pay for music lessons, but personal trainers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So like I was living football life. I wasn't drinking or smoking. I was, I was trying to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a scholarship. I got all the grant stuff, all that, the D3 hogwash they give you. But yeah, like that was my life. And then when I stopped, I immediately started making music.
But there was no music being made.
I was in like a garage band in like sophomore year of high school, and like I was always dabbling or like trying, but I really didn't really try. This is one of my biggest regrets in my life, because I feel like if I would have tried this hard in 9th grade, that I could be way more ahead than I am now.
Wasn't that life though? I mean, everyone kind of feels like that if they try anything later. It's different for you, I guess. If you had a
I feel like I blame my the upbringing or whatever, which isn't fair either, but because I still could have did it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely is. Like I kick myself. Like I feel like when I have a child, if I have a child, that I would encourage them to do what they want to do.
Yeah, whatever the fuck you want to do.
Like but I mean, be good at it. Don't fuck off. Don't be an idiot. But like, you know, if you really want something, go for it.
Absolutely. Now, in high school, if you're not doing music and like creating music, like what are you listening to? Like, were you always into like hip hop and shit?
I've always had phases. I've been a man of phases my whole life. I was really into, like I said, in elementary school. I think once you start learning, I keep going back to elementary school for some reason, but
That's all right.
when you start developing your own taste apart from what your parents like. So I was listening to like the pop stuff, like boy bands or whatever at the time. But then I got into like Eminem and Dr. Dre
Absolutely.
also. And then like that, it was like Eminem was probably one of the first things I've listened to. And then I got like a Nelly CD, and then I got like
Can't beat that Nelly CD.
and then like Kid Rock, and then new metal happened. So like I was really into Limp Bizkit and really into Linkin Park and really into System of a Down.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like new metal became my identity once that was a thing. You know, really dating myself here. So like Linkin Park was my favorite band. I was obsessed, fucking obsessed.
Really, with Linkin Park?
Yes, obsessed.
I mean, like they're honestly like that's like
the prime, the first 2-3 albums.
like they are a pivotal group. They're almost like Blink-182 is a pivotal group for a lot of people because them. Like they. I mean, like those guys had so many like hitters like throughout the years, and like Linkin Park fucking killed it too. It's a shame that he's fucking gone.
Yeah, I know.
Real damn shame.
Yeah, that was the first time I was like genuinely upset that a celebrity died.
That a celebrity died?
Yeah, like, you know, people get for like legends are legends, you know, like, oh, but they're old. Once they're old, I've kind of come to terms with that.
Absolutely.
But when like a person dies when then like they shouldn't be dead yet. Like it was a big deal to me.
Yeah, and that was just a few years ago.
Yeah, I was obsessed.
Now, if you're, I mean, football was basically life. If you're playing all them years, it's just like every single day, all day. Now, besides for football and like music, like what other hobbies did you have? Like
magic and other than football, music, school, I was into video games and magic. Like that was pretty much my entire life outside of those things.
Yeah.
That about covers it. Before I started drinking, found alcohol and weed, which was late high school. But then I stopped because of football. It was like I don't know. Football was a big deal. But yeah, I was into video games. Big into
what kind of video games? Were you like the Grand Theft Autos?
I played those. I played the big ones, but I'm mainly a role playing game guy.
Oh, okay.
Definitely an RPG guy. Your Final Fantasies and your Fallouts and your Elder Scrolls and all.
Now let me ask you a question because like this kind of relates to me. I played Magic for probably 10 years. Never once did I get into D&D. I hated on it so heavy.
It's the coolest thing.
It's the coolest thing in the world.
I just got into it heavy last year.
I was about 2 years ago. My brother talked shit on it forever, and my cousin talked shit on it forever. They just fucking got into it, and I was like, you guys are fucking losers. And they're like, honestly, it's the greatest thing of all time. And
it's the coolest game.
And I started playing with them. And like I got so in depth that I bought like $80 Geo dice, and I bought all the shit.
I know this well. I know the story. I bought all the books.
Yeah, like I become obsessive about things. I'm sure just like you were. Like if I would have friends that say I was into phases, but it's not like I'm phasey. It's just like I like to try things out for myself.
And if I like to try something, I like to be good at it.
Obsessive.
Or I like to know everything about it.
The ins and outs of it.
And it doesn't, and like I move on from things, but it's not like I shut them away and never come back to them.
Absolutely.
It just instead of being my main thing, it just becomes a part of who I am.
Exactly.
Yeah, D&D is a big thing.
So you play now still?
Yeah, we're on a break right now because of all the album stuff, but I think when it's all done, I'm moving in with Joel in a couple of months.
Yeah.
So two-thirds of our group, that's Joel and his roommate. So I'll be there, living there. So it'll be really easy to
You play 5e?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's simple and it's nice.
I haven't played in I'd say about a year, but we got pretty heavy into it. Like, do you guys use figurines and shit?
Yeah, we did it first, and now
Makes it better.
And now, yeah, it makes it better.
So much better.
Just because, like, especially because I really enjoy tactic combat in video games, which is exactly what D&D combat
creeping
is.
up and
just
shit
straight
like that.
up, like, you know, grid based. You got moves.
That's what we do. We got grids, and then like they'll draw shit out, and then my fucking cousin is a lunatic. He will build, like, he bought all these Legos and built castles.
Oh, see, I wanted to do that.
I'll show you pictures after this. We have layers, like the top floor of the castle. He has all the blocks out, and then you would go down the steps, and there you would pull
pull it open,
and there would be more.
I've always wanted to do that.
I mean, like, he built a fucking pirate ship, like a model pirate ship to use for D&D. It was, and I feel like the people give it such a bad rap because, oh yeah, these fucking nerds are playing make believe, but like realistically, it's incredible. It's like watching a movie that you're writing that will never end. I
say that it's the perfect game because it scratches a lot of itches. The strategy the combat strategy thing, which is big for me. The acting theatrical side. Yeah. Some people play literally just to act their characters out.
You have to
do voices and like their favorite part is the acting. Like they don't care about the stats. They don't care about killing things. They're just literally, I want to be this person, and that's cool too.
Yeah,
and
cool.
And then you got the people that are all about the lore, the story, like creating a story or being part of a story. Like it's just it's cool because it has a lot, and you can be into one thing more than other things, and that's okay. You know,
I got so fed up with Magic because like Magic kind of just like turned into a game where whoever has the most money wins.
That's why I stopped playing. Are you familiar with Pauper? It's a newer format.
No,
only commons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's no tier 1 deck is more than $50. So like everyone can have a good deck.
I would,
and
fuck
like
with
there's
that.
a lot of strategy involved. Plus, like it's a new format.
Are you allowed
so
to
people
use
still figuring stuff
duplicates?
out. Yeah, it's 4 of a kind.
Okay,
yeah,
because we played. What was
like
it?
Singleton.
What was the one where you have 100 cards and no duplicates?
That's Commander.
Commander.
That's fun too.
Yeah, that was
Commander's
fun.
really fun too. And
I enjoyed that.
I mean, how you can have a broken deck if you're rich, but you can still make a good deck.
Well, these fucking assholes. Like, so I was working. I had an office job I was working with, and there was this dude, and we just got to talking one day, and he was like, "Oh, like, what do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm into like whatever." And he was like, "Oh, I play like Magic," and I was like, "Dude, I was so heavy into it." And then we started playing on lunch. And then he got me into it crazy, and I got back into it full swing.
It's so easy to get back into it.
$200 later, I'm just picking cards. I had a green and white deck that was just so mean, and I just was building. And then he was like, "Oh, let's go to the." I was getting so excited about it. I went to the Magic Grand Prix and got completely shit on. I got completely shit on by this artifact deck where I was allowed to take one turn, and then after that, no turns at all. I had no turns, and I just fucking lost. And it made me so angry because, like, you pay money to get into it, and you're just like, fuck, there's literally no way you could beat these people if they have this stacked deck. But anyway, regardless of that.
My biggest beef is how expensive the mana bases have become.
What do you mean?
Like fetch land. Every deck needs the same dual lands. Every deck needs $80 worth of dual lands.
Yeah,
that's
keep it.
That's what I don't like. I don't get paying money for a real card.
Yeah,
but for a fucking land, get out of here.
Yeah.
And like for just the advantage of like milling your deck for a couple cards or whatever, it's just like that's literally paying for a slight advantage. And every deck recipe has those same lands in them.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't like that. That's
Magic
why
was
I like
fun,
Paupers. Pauper doesn't have the dual lands are very crappy.
That sounds like a cool way to play.
That's
for sure.
what hooked me back into it. Is like I could make a deck, with nothing, or like people will have like 8 decks with them to play, because like it's easy to build one and be competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy Magic.
Yeah, Magic is cool. I'm not in a phase of it right now.
That's good.
Yeah. And when I thought D&D was cheaper because D&D literally you could play with nothing. Like all you need is a pen and a paper and some dice.
Yeah, but then you wanna.
But then what happens is you think that and you start playing and then you get really into it and then you're just like, I gotta buy a battle map. I gotta buy dry erase, wet erase markers.
Yep.
I gotta buy miniatures. I gotta buy more dice.
Yeah, and the miniatures are ridiculous.
That's the sink. That's the money sink.
So what we started doing is like every year for Christmas, I'll buy my brother like. Have you ever played Hero Quest? Hero Quest is a game that's basically
is that the board game? Or,
it's a board game.
Yeah.
From back in the day, they discontinued it, but like we just like. I would buy him and my cousin board games for Christmas or birthdays, and like we would just use the miniatures out of there.
That's what we did too.
Like Ravenloft, Castle Ravenloft.
Oh, I have the Elemental Evil one because we're doing the Elemental Evil campaign, Princess Apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
So I bought the Elemental Evil board game and it has all the guys. No, it's not. It's only like that. I'm almost debating on buying it again because I need like 7 of each thing, and they only comes with like 3 of each thing.
Yeah. Now. Jeez, you can get so deep into it. You can get so deep into the money.
When I bought paints, that's how deep I got.
Oh yeah, I mean, you painted them.
I painted a good 5 before I took a break.
Listen, I'm gonna remind me to show you pictures after this. I'm telling you, I got thrown into the wolves with these guys. They made me. They were like advanced people, and they just threw me into it. But regardless, so.
Yeah, this is gonna be a podcast all about nerds.
I don't give a fuck.
deep.
I talk about
stuff.
so much random shit on here. I've had every different type of guest on here, from funeral directors to comedians. Wow. A lot of good people. Look back into the catalog. Anyway, so you get done with school and you start going hard on music.
Yes,
now,
like 18, 19.
When what were you making? Were you making hip hop? Were you making?
I was all rap. And it was horrible. It was bad. I would never want to show somebody this, even if you paid me.
Was it by yourself?
Yes, it was by myself at first. I was really in. See, once I late high school, I really got into rap. Period.
Yeah.
So like I was talking about my new metal phase. That was middle school. By high school, I got really into Wiz Khalifa because he was having his mixtapes were really popular at the time. Like
Cushion Oranges.
He didn't. Before that, like Princess City 2 and like Star Power and like before he blew up, but he was popular here.
Yeah, like This Plane and shit.
Even a little bit before that, but yeah, you're getting around that time.
Yeah.
And then that got me really into mixtape rap in general. So like Lil Wayne was really good at the time, and like, but then all these new guys like Big Sean and Kid Cudi and Wale and Asher Roth and Lupe Fiasco, and there was a bunch of these young new rap guys that were like they weren't gangsta, they didn't have anything to do with drugs or anything like that, and they weren't like I don't know conscious, so they weren't like common, they were like like it was like college rap. It was what it felt like, like it was fun. It was still had some substance to it, but it was like didn't take itself too seriously. Yeah, and I really loved that. Joel, and that's what me and Joel ended up meeting. We went to high school together, but we didn't become friends until after, and we bonded over hip hop online mixtapes at the time. So we would talk about mixtapes. All did you hear this? Did you hear that? It was an exciting time. A lot of free music getting thrown around.
A lot of free music. Now, for you making music, like, are you showing it to people, or is this just something that you're making yourself?
I made my first album mixtape, and I did show people. I did put it online, and I showed people.
Where'd you put it?
It was on TapPiff. It's gone now. Okay. I deleted it. But it was bad.
What was your name?
Lazy JP.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Which is still my name now. I just I hate it. I hate that name, but I picked it, and I just I was in too deep and felt like I couldn't turn back.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know. It was like it was like a reminder to not be lazy. I feel like I've always my dad's maybe characterized me as lazy in my youth. So it was like kind of supposed to be a reminder to not be lazy. And I figured if I accomplished something, I could remove that lazy part of my name.
I like that.
Yeah, that was that's what I told myself. I don't know. It was bad. I think I got it from a name generator or something.
From a name generator. That's all right. Fuck it.
No. I mean, it's both stories might be true or probably true.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both of those
That's all
stories. Right. The myth and legend.
So, like, I mean, are you performing places, or are you just making
not by
music?
this point. Probably a couple years into it, though, we did start performing. We would come out to the city.
What do you mean we?
Me and Joel. Joel didn't have any music of his own yet, and we didn't have enough songs together, so Joel would come with me as my hype man.
But this would happen, like, this was back whenever you started. When you started making music seriously, as you said, you were already friends with Joel?
Yeah, I think I wanted to get into it, and I knew that he had recorded some songs before.
Okay.
So I basically reached out to him as a, like, help, like, let's do this. Like, let's do this. Like,
And he was doing music?
He did he recorded a few songs by that point with some random people, and then like he stopped. And then I think I asked him to come over to my house, and we recorded something in my room on my laptop. It was horrible sounding quality, like it was like a rock band mic or something like that.
That's all right.
Yeah, and then that was the beginning of the gruesome twosome.
The gruesome twosome. Now, was it MySpace?
No, we were on Facebook by this point.
Oh, really? I guess MySpace was like junior year.
Yeah, Facebook was a thing for me. Like, I got it senior year of high school because it was like, this is what everyone in college uses.
Yeah.
College people use Facebook.
You had to have like a college email at first, and then like as soon as they let everyone get it, people were like, yeah. I remember whenever there was no parents whatsoever.
Yeah, it was just young people.
And now it's
just college people, really.
Now it's riddled with people that have
it's
opinions.
horrible. I feel like Facebook's kind of over. Not,
it is.
It's like it's on the decline. It's not over, but it's definitely on the decline.
It's not what it was. It's just used for connecting with people and for people. I mean, that's what it should be used for, but people just use it to complain, an online diary, and to get validation from.
Even since last year, because like we had a big push on Facebook for our album cycle last year, and this year it's like very diluted over all of our things. Like Twitter is more important. We didn't really use our Twitter much, and now it's like one of our main things.
I don't use Twitter at all for this podcast. I almost feel bad, like not bad, but I almost feel dumb trying to like hit people up on Twitter if I'm trying to like get with link with them, because like I only got like a fucking 100 followers on.
Yeah, that's the problem that you have to get past. Is like it's hard to get the ball rolling, and then once you do, you look better. Like. That was why we didn't use it, because like Facebook, we have a lot of likes, but Twitter only have 800 followers or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we're still dealing with that. Like
for sure.
Instagram is probably I would say Instagram's probably the number one thing these days.
Oh, absolutely. For any brand at all, if you don't have an Instagram, I feel like it's
like the main.
Yeah, no dice for you. Because I think what's going to happen now is Instagram is going to get overrun by adults and parents. I mean, I can't say adults because we're all about to be 30, but the older generation is all hopping on Instagram. Like my mom is on Instagram now, and like she's not too active on it, but like she just got a Facebook and shit like that. And
I think it won't suffer the same fate, because Facebook has a problem because of the open forum of it, like it's the communication part with the comments.
That's a good point.
There's something about Instagram that feels closed off. Like that's why Twitter is cool too. Is like Twitter is more direct conversations, and like you can see what other people are talking about, but it's harder to follow like threads. Whereas like
you could easily admit that like if you want to see it, you can, but on Facebook, you're kind of just like subjected to it.
You're much more of, and also like you're friends with, like you see what you're friends with. You can unfollow your friends on Facebook, but on Twitter, like you pick who you follow.
Yeah.
And people can follow you that you don't follow back, like, or what, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like you can very much control your feed easier.
I hate the algorithms though. The algorithms fuck everything up.
Yeah, they suck. Because sometimes they help you, and sometimes they hurt you.
For sure.
Now, Facebook's is worse. I think Twitter's.
Yeah, I'll see shit from
better.
like 3 days ago on Facebook that like I've seen 100 times, but I won't see shit that was 10 minutes ago from someone. But so a couple years into it, if you're making music and Joel is like kind of helping you out, and you guys like kind of merge into one, when did the name BBGuns come?
We've had a bunch of names over the years.
Oh yeah,
because you figure it's what 2019 now.
10 years.
Yeah, we've been probably doing shit for almost 10 years now. Yeah, and at first it was like it was me doing solo stuff, and then it was Lazy JP and Jay Carter was Joel's old name, and then we did some songs together. We would do like sets where he'd do a couple songs, I'd do a couple songs, we'd do a couple songs together.
Yeah.
And then it was
live sets. Places?
Yeah, live sets.
Where were you playing at?
We played the Shadow Lounge for a handful of times.
Oh, really?
Before it went down. Yeah.
Damn.
But the problem is when we got into the hip hop scene, it was all pay to play. Everything was pay to play. So it was like $50 for a 10-minute set.
Really?
$100 for a 10-minute
Who was like
set.
popping at that time, like whenever Yinz first started?
The 58s.
Yeah, 58s.
The Varsity Squad, like John Quest and Beatty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were probably the main two dogs at the time.
Yeah, Franchise and Vinny.
Yeah,
and all them.
them
Come Up Boys.
The Come Up Boys. Yeah, those were probably the three main ones.
Yeah,
and then everyone was just like chasing that fame dragon. So there was like so many kids that like white kids trying to be like Mac Miller, and then there was like a bunch of trap guys, and there was just an influx of people trying to make it.
It was a saturation. It's almost like how people have podcasts or
like
shit
a fad,
like that now.
a wave happens.
Yeah, that's a good.
But
point,
then
fad.
there's like But then there's people that also try to profit off of those people.
Yeah.
And like we were dumb at the time, and we paid for lots of stuff we should have never paid for.
I mean, that's understandable though. I mean, you're first starting out. It's like that's how like anyone that like has any sort of guidance now. Like the reason is because Yinz made mistakes of shit.
Oh yeah,
100%. Even all them 58s and everything like that. Like I've known them dudes since before I was born. They graduated with my brother, B. White and Mayo, but like they, like, I don't know, like I just remember going to all them shows and like seeing like the amount of people that were like all these new artists that were coming in and like all these other people that were trying to rap and like it was a bizarre time.
It was crazy time, man.
It was bizarre because there were so many shows, there were so many like things to do, activities. You had Shadow Lounge, you had like Blasphemy, Time Bomb was banging.
Yeah, there was a culture for sure. Daily Bread was like in its prime.
Yeah, Daily Bread. Yeah, that's a good point.
And like the South Side was like not completely shitty. Like it was kind of cool
terrible.
still. There was a lot of bars opening and closing, but yeah, the hip hop scene kind of ate itself. So like all those people got to the 58s and the people we were just talking about, the big dogs stayed at the top.
Yeah.
And you just had a bunch of people just like eating each other, and like the shows became really bad. So you'd go to a show, like an average local hip hop show was like 10 acts, 10-minute sets, varying quality, most of them bad.
Yeah.
And like it got to a point where people wouldn't want to come to shows, and the only people you'd be performing for are other artists.
Well, that's because you're paying to fucking play it. So like any ratchet ass person could pay $50 to get on there.
So the quality wasn't important anymore. It was just more about who would pay, which destroyed the shows, which destroyed the turnout, which like, and then Shadow Lounge went under, which was like the main hub of hip hop. And then everything just started falling apart and getting worse and worse and worse quality wise.
That's a good point.
Until it hit rock bottom. And now I feel like this is the wave that we're on, like a new hip hop wave right now. There's a lot of people doing good.
It's thriving now.
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh, at least.
Pittsburgh. And like this is the strongest the scene has been since then.
For sure. In the last 10 years, absolutely. I feel like that this is its peak, and like right around 2009, 2010, just from, I mean, like I was never in the music scene, but like just from an outsider's point of view of like having events to go to and like people like trying to put shit together,
people making moves, people throwing their weight around. Yeah, they're definitely, and people are good. It's not just like people have clout, because there has been times where artists had followings but just didn't have the music to back it up.
Yeah.
But now like people have good music, they have followings, they're making moves, they're doing all the things.
Yeah, and people were really, I think it also has to do with like, well, let me ask you, because like I'm just speculating, but like, do you think it has to do with like part of the saturation? Like there's a lot of people that could record and produce now in the city. There's a lot of, it's almost like every like clique of hip hop artists like have their own, at least have someone that does producing, like
well, there's always been those people, like as far as studios, maybe not like the beat producers, but like there's always been good producers and stuff. It's just they're now people give a shit about the quality again.
Yeah.
It's not just like making whatever songs. Like they realized that because like there was like people were buying into stupid shit. Like it's all about the right target audience and just going viral. Like that one song could go viral. It wasn't about making a good album or making a good song anymore.
Yeah.
And now people just want to make good music.
Well, I'm more or less talking about like, like we had them people in the beginning that were good producers and like good people that were like engineering music, but like now it's just like we're in this world where everything's kind of at our fingertips, so like anyone could just go out and buy the equipment to make beats and everything.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're wrong, but I think that's been this way for this whole decade.
Yeah,
like I think that's what spurred the online mixtape movement in 2009 was that like anyone could record and put the shit on the internet and have it and people could download it.
That's a good point. I remember grabbing shit off DatPiff. It's like that was and like you said, it was varying quality, like some things.
Yeah, but now it definitely is even easier. It's not like it's getting harder, but distribution has changed it with Spotify and stuff. So now it's easy to get on Spotify. It used to be hard.
Yeah.
And that's like making everyone have an opportunity to put their music on Spotify.
Yeah.
Which definitely levels the playing fields, but as a whole, we can get a whole can of worms
now,
about the streaming system.
Yeah, let me put a pin in that real quick. I have a quick question. So like your first time performing, do you remember, or like where was your first performance and like what was your thought behind that?
Oh, well, our first show we were supposed to do was at this dance studio, and they were like, it was an impromptu like show party, and they had alcohol and everything there, and
really?
It got busted before we went on, and we didn't get our money refunded or anything.
That's fucked up.
They gave us another show, I think, but yeah, I don't remember what the first one was, but I was laughed at one point in one of my early sets.
I don't mean
at the Shadow Lounge. I think I got laughed at once.
Oh. Jesus.
And I was by myself. Joel wasn't even there. I was just completely by myself.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. I would never do that now.
Why were you? What, you wouldn't perform by yourself now?
No, I would I'm not big on going out to shows by myself.
Yeah.
Period. I don't like to just travel alone.
Yeah.
So the fact that I drove out from my mom's or whatever to the Shadow Lounge to perform alone is wild.
People laughed at you.
And people laughed at me.
What was now?
I wasn't good in my defense, or in their defense.
That's fine.
I wasn't good then.
I did stand-up comedy last year, and I did great my first 4 times, and then my 5th time, after people saw me do great, they were like, "Hey, come on this show," and I was like, "Oh, cool." And I was confident. I completely fucking bombed.
Wow.
I forgot every single thing about it.
Oh, you forgot your joke?
Well, it was fucked up because so I never did comedy ever, and then I had a comedian on here named Matt Light, and he does he does a comedy competition at the Improv called the March Madness competition. I never did it. I told him I wanted to do it, and he was like, "Well, I'm doing this competition. Come on." So there was 32 people. I made it to the top 3.
Wow.
And I was pumped. And like, to be honest, like I'm not like tooting my own horn. Like I felt like I was supposed to be up there. Like I felt good. It felt right. Yeah. And then the other guys that were there with me, they were like, "Hey, we're doing this what the fuck do they call it? Where there's a bunch of people, like comedy showcase. At this bar right up the road by my house." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll do that." They were like, "Can you do 10 minutes?" Meanwhile, these sets were only 5 minutes, but I didn't know that everyone was going to use the same set. So I was writing a new 5 minutes every week. So I was fucking myself. And
well, then but that's a lot of material though.
Yeah, but it ain't good. Like if you have a notebook full of 5 different songs, like it could get convoluted.
Yeah, but that's the material that got you through your thing though, right?
Yeah, but I had a completely different idea about all this. I was like, "Oh, it's not right to use the same shit," but then everyone's using the same shit. But anyway, regardless, I did fine, and then they invited me to this new show, and they were like, "Oh, you got 10 minutes." I had to work on this Saturday until 9:00. I was supposed to go on at 9, or the show started at 9:30. So I got there.
And you were first.
I got there, and they were like, "Oh, you're cool. You're here. Yeah, everything." And I was like, please, if there's anything that I could ask you, do not make me go first. I just need to prepare. And they were like, oh, okay, cool. I'm first. So I go out. They were like, you could have a note card. And I was like, all right, dope. That'll save me. So I made this note card real quick. And they call me out. And I walk up there and I set this note card down on this stool. And there was an air conditioner right there that blew my note card away.
Oh,
and I looked to the right and I was like, it's not there. And then I didn't want it to be too silent, so I just immediately diverted to what I was used to and started doing another set. And then I like 30 seconds later, I see the note card on the ground, and I couldn't just grab it because I would have had to like rewind all the way and go back into like a whole different like 5-minute set. And I completely panicked, and it was just, I immediately was just like, well, I definitely fucked this up. And like I kind of just went with it, and it was definitely the most embarrassed I've ever been. I had 20 people that I was friends with there, and like I was like, fuck, man, I did so good these first ones, and then I shit the bed on this one. And I mean, like, fuck it though, I mean, makes you better.
Yeah. I mean, so, you know what I've had to learn from being a performer, just from this story. I don't know anything about being a comedian, but rolling with the punches is an important part of being a performer.
You got to, dude.
If you like, my suggestion would have been to just been transparent with the audience that you had a note card and you dropped it, and if you said it in a funny way, I imagine they would have been forgiving.
But everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, I know it well.
So
I deer in the headlights.
Yeah, so you're just up there and you're like, fuck, there's 1,000 good avenues to take. But
I don't know
just
what to do right now.
Seeing where it's gonna fit. But so I mean, like, we all did some terrible shit. But like after you got laughed at, what is like the trajectory as far as like you making music, you guys doing shows? Because like, I mean, I was listening to. So what year would you say that was? Like whenever you were,
when I got laughed at Shadow Lounge,
like that was in the beginning, I would assume. Like,
yeah, I'm around 2010, probably. Yeah.
So like after you guys start doing this like pretty seriously, like what's kind of like your avenue? Like what's the path that you're taking as far as like getting music?
Well, that's always been the question and the problem, because. The hip hop's, the rap scene was always viewed as like a little bit off the beat from them. And even like whether it's the mainstream rap scene or even like the boom bap, like hip hop guys, like neither of them view us as like something that belongs.
Yeah.
So we've had to, like, and then this is over years, we've eaten shit in the rap world for years and years and not had any progress at all. And also we weren't making good enough stuff, in my opinion. But once we started making good stuff, it was probably, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, we made, the duo was formed as Lazy Black Man.
Lazy Black Man.
I'm lazy. He's black man.
I thought you were black man.
No. But we used to have to explain this all the time. But that was our name, and we made a mixtape where we rapped over indie rock songs.
Yeah, I was confused because I saw you had the one music video and it said Lazy Black Man, but it was the one where you guys were in the woods, like rapping through the hole in the
Fool's
tree.
Gold.
Fool's Gold.
Yeah, that was on that mixtape.
Okay.
That was the beginning, and we weren't getting any play from hip hop people with the rapping on rock songs. So I got the bright idea to start doing more shows with the indie scene here.
Yeah,
so there's like indie DIY is like a big organized community in Pittsburgh for just general indie music, indie rock music. They do a lot of pop punk and emo, of course, but it's like a home for general indie music.
Yeah.
And they took to us, last summer, they took to us right away. But it took a long time. We had to do a lot of shows. We used to perform. We basically became like, we'd go anywhere that would have us.
Yeah.
So throughout, from week to week, we would be doing a rap show, a punk show, a funk show, a dance show. Like, it was just all over the place.
That's sick, though.
And because we kind of go with all of those things.
Yeah.
We're dancey.
100%.
We're a little bit funky. We got a punk ethos, especially when we perform. If you've never seen us, it's very, there's like an energy there. But yeah, we were just doing whatever we could take, and then we ended up doing a lot of indie shows. And I got in my head that like we're an indie act. We're like hip hop doesn't even like us. Like we should just try to be just general indie music. And like I was trying to push like those shows all the time, and I feel like maybe that was limited us a bit. Like we need to just go back to doing whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
Or whoever will take us. Because like that's the problem when you don't have a scene for what you already do. You have to like make your own or just like go wherever people have you.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up for you guys, I feel, because like, I mean, like you said, there's like you have the boom bap, you have like the trap type stuff, and usually if you see like a card with like a group of people performing on there, it's like if there's 5 people on there, usually 5 people kind of sound similar.
Yeah.
But you guys have such like a unique sound. I could definitely see you on like indie, you know, funk, whatever like that. I think that like just from me listening to you these past couple of weeks, like I kind of dove in pretty heavy. Like I could see that over like just like a regular, you know, hip hop show per se, because like, you know, hip hop people are like, there's a lot of gatekeepers. As far as gatekeepers, I mean like people that are like, you know, super proud of like the way hip hop should be. They might have an idea like boom bap, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
kinda?
there's people that have a very. I mean, that's you have those in everything, but hip hop is harder because hip hop isn't broken down into subgenres as blatantly as other music. So like. Yeah, people have their idea of what they think their scene is. Like, there's a lot of people right now that are doing well that kind of are on like a neo soul kind of a tip, like Clara Kent or Sierra Sellers.
I've
and
heard
like
of her.
then there's rap people that go good with them, like Mars Jackson, or Benji even, But like, and then like Benji and My Favorite Color have a more mainstream style.
Yeah,
like they go together with each other, and like I don't know, like all those people are doing well, and we've done shows with those people.
Yeah,
and we interact with those people, and like they're dope. But like, there's some reason we don't get included in that, and we don't get included in any of that.
I mean, like I feel like it's obvious why though. I mean, like
I guess it's not to me.
Well, I mean, like you're the person that's creating that. You might have a certain meaning in your head that you are taking in consideration for your whatever you're creating, but other people aren't seeing that. That's kind of like why I wanted to have you on here. Is like I want to see like where the motive of all that shit's coming from. But for you guys to create this music, like whenever you started out, was it always like as experimental as it is?
No, I think we used to make more straightforward boom bap, lyrical bars oriented tracks, and they just didn't get us anywhere.
Because like now it's like you hear like what was the song? I have it written down. Like I took notes because I was pumped about it. Like that One Piece song.
Yeah.
Like One Piece is a song that's on the new tape, and that's like for me to describe that, I wouldn't consider that really like, I would consider that 10% hip hop almost. And like, I mean, you're singing in there. Is that you singing on a lot of them hooks and everything?
I sing on everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I and like, that's what I have written down here. And that's obviously why I didn't really dive into it, because you told me you've been taking chorus forever, because, I mean, you could tell on all these tracks, you're on hooks. You could hear yourself singing a little bit more. Joel, I don't really hear singing as much, but, you could tell you have more of like a experimental range with what you do, because like you can come in super hard like on Blisters, and then you could just get real strange like on Rose Gold, and like I love all that shit. Like it's interesting to see your range.
Yeah, I guess I really wanted to do that with the new Help Yourself. I think that each project we've tried to be more confident on our ideas, like I said before, we used to just make boom bap hip hop songs. I didn't sing a lot. I had a really bad experience, side tangent. I had a really bad like I told you, did chorus and musical.
Yeah.
Junior year of high school, I was like, I always felt like I was trying to prove myself that I was a good singer to my football friends, and I got asked to sing the national anthem at a basketball game.
Oh.
And here's my choke story. Everybody was there. I practiced this thing over and over and over again. I copied like Jason Mraz singing the national anthem, and it was perfect in my range. I was dating this girl who was also a chorus girl, and she was a cheerleader, so like she like helped me through it. She's gonna be there. We practiced
like fucking High School Musical.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. No, she wasn't like, we weren't like top dogs though. You know, in
right.
the movie they're like number one.
Don't sell yourself short.
Anyways, start the national anthem. I for some reason started singing it in a higher key. And so it was fine until I got to Rocket's Red Glare and my voice cracked so bad. Rocket's Red Glare! And everybody laughed.
You know, are you a fan of The Office?
Yeah.
It just reminds me of Michael coming in singing Happy Birthday.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he at least sings
yeah.
like the higher key.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yep, it was horrible. And so then I was convinced that I couldn't sing after that. And I stopped singing and only rapped for a really long time. Until someone told me that I wasn't that good at rapping and I should sing more. And then it took me back the other way.
You're just like stuck in this chaotic like balance between it.
Me, a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
But I think that's what led me, just to segue this in, that's what led me into being more experimental with my voice. Is because one, I've never liked the sound of my rap voice, so I was always trying to try different deliveries. Like, you know, you can rap higher pitch, you can rap lower pitch, you can yell, you can whisper. So I was always trying stuff with that, and then I also was like thinking about trying that with singing, like and trying different singing voices. Sometimes I want to have a more R&B voice, and sometimes I want to have like an angsty voice with some heat on it, you know.
Now, like, I don't want to, like, I'm trying to not ask you information about Joel because, like, I'm obviously going to be
talk to him.
Yeah, like you guys are going to hear about him on Thursday. So like he has always been down with the whole like experimental like feeling of it all.
Well, it's been, sometimes I've had to sell him on it, you know, like I've had to sell him on these things, like, cause he definitely likes more creative hip hop for sure, but he also just like likes bars. Like he just wants to hear somebody rap good.
Yeah.
So like, and I started getting really into at a certain point, probably like around when I started we did the indie rock tape. That's when I was pivoting away from just listening to hip hop and listening to more critical music.
Yeah,
like, you know, indie rock and like just stuff that people say is good. Critics say that this is one of the best albums of this, and I would check it out to see if I hated it or not. Yeah, I wouldn't like everything, but I learned a lot of new stuff, and I wanted to incorporate some of those ideas into hip hop because I'd never heard anyone do that. And yeah, so I'd have to like show him an example of like something, and then now he listens to everything too. So it's easier now.
That's dope because like you could tell that you guys have like a like it's. I mean, unique is definitely the only way I could explain it because like the beats that like where do you guys get a lot of your beats and shit?
On Thirst, my roommate Charlie Scott does a lot of the beats. He does a lot on Help Yourself too, but he does most of Thirst. And then with just the rest of our Pittsburgh producers, one of them I think is somebody from California, but everyone else is from Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's dope.
Help Yourself has a lot of beats from Height Keach, who's from Baltimore. He did Valley and Xanadu and Magic.
Yeah, like Magic is such like a like it's a weird song. It's weird. It does not like, but everything on Help Yourself is like I was telling you before. I listened to the first song, and then there's 11 songs total.
Yeah. From
the 11th song, it's just like every single song just keeps progressing into like, you know, more complex like, you know, crazy shit, and then it just is like the final one is just like so sick because like you got U2 killing it, and then
it's like a rap off.
Yeah, it's just like a rap off. Like I don't know if people know who's featured on it.
Yeah, we talked about it, and they will by the time this is out.
Yeah, so by the time it's out.
Hubs and Mo Monadon, yeah.
So Mo Monadon was also on here for people that have listened. I'm sure some of you checked it out, but it's just so nasty.
He actually did a way longer verse than we wanted him to do. I don't think I've said this to anybody, but because it was just so hard that I was like, I'm not changing this. Like, I'm not gonna do anything to this.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna ask him to do anything else.
Yeah, like he has that. Like he has some dope ass lines in there. He's a but he's also like, I had him on here and I talked to him, like I was always kind of fascinated by him because like I managed this clothing store in Southside and they did this like art crawl or whatever. And we had like an artist was posted up with like, each person that was involved with it, and Moma was like at our store, and he was just like, he didn't have a fucking speaker, and this motherfucker just put a chair and stood on it outside and just started rapping for like a half hour, just fucking killing it.
Yeah, he's really good.
And I was sitting there watching him, and I was just like, this dude is a fucking animal. So whenever I started this, and I had like a list of people that I wanted to talk to, but I focused more on like, he's like an underground sound, like he's a unique sound that doesn't fit with like the norm of what everything is. And you can tell he's been putting in like super hard work and like been putting in time for years, and he's an actual like cinephile. And like he doesn't get as enough credit as he should. Mm-mm. And like we talk about that, and like I thought it was super interesting to hear about like, artists like yourself and like Moma who like put in just as much work as the next person, if not even more, but still like don't get like that buzz as much as like someone that's doing like the cookie cutter shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. It's with what Momon does. We've looked up to him forever. He was somebody that like I gravitated towards because like when we got into the scene, I like didn't know anyone that was like a weirdo like us. And, like, saw he was a Fortified Phonetics at the time, and like they are like into that Def Jux kind of stuff that like I was really into at the time. Like your LP and your atmospheres or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I was really into that kind of stuff, and like that was like super important a part of what we were doing too. And I think that we started like growing out away from that even, and like it's like a bunch of people on their own islands, at a certain like.
It makes sense.
And like you have your conferences, and I always say that we're like Notre Dame, or like we're just independent, we have our own thing. We'll play whoever, but we're very much like on our own thing. And that's I feel like Momoz kind of occupies his own space.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a unique sound, just as you don't hear too much shit that's like it. Now, whenever you're trying to find beats and everything like that, I mean, are the types of beats that you guys have like super common? Like I don't hear them really ever. You guys,
I'm super picky about what we rap on these days. I used to not be. That was another thing about getting older. Is just like I want things to sound like what I want it to sound like. So now I'm more hands on in the production side. Like I've co-produced a handful of things on both albums.
Do you do any like sort of like you yourself? Do you make beats or do you play instruments?
I don't make beats by myself, but like I'm usually in the in the room.
You add
like,
shit, add spice and everything.
Like I've started playing keyboard and stuff. So I've played things on the Help Yourself, and I've like either I'm coaching people that are playing things, or like if I'm not twisting the knob, I'm leaning over their shoulder and being like, that's too much.
Yeah,
so it's like hard. Like I would say no, but then I'm very
you have some sort of influence for sure.
Oh yeah. I would say I definitely have I'm very control heavy. Like I'm a control freak to a degree, but like when you don't know how to play things and operate everything, like you just have to go by what you hear. And like I like this, I don't like this.
So Thirst. What year did that come out?
That was last year.
2018. And you inside tapes before that?
The only thing just was the Lazy Blackman, the one we rapped on the rock songs. Rock Lobster is what it's called.
Okay, so like now this
will be our third project officially together.
Now the second project, like your first project, did you get any buzz from that at all?
No. People not online, but people really like we were getting like word of mouth from our performances.
Yeah,
we were performing a lot at the time, and that's like kind of how we established ourselves, which kind of launched us into BBGuns, because we changed our name after that into BBGuns.
What was now? Where did that name come from?
BBGuns?
Yeah,
I was really into indie bands, and they all have like one word names. And BBGuns isn't one word, but I took the space away.
Yeah.
People really can't. They really don't like that I took the space away. But yeah, like I was like Pixies.
Yeah, Pixies
or
and shit
Oasis
like that.
or whatever, Blur or Pavement. I was into all these noun names, and I was like, I want a noun, a plural. Like, if we couldn't think of a good one, pluralizing it was the option, and that's just what we did.
Just BBGuns.
We had a big list of names, and we narrowed
okay.
it down over time, and then BB
That's
Guns
dope. Then
ended
it's a
up
sick
being-
name. Like it's a sick. I love. That's why I asked you. I was like, you guys have any big size shirts? I love them shirts. They're just simple.
Yeah, we're getting more soon, so I'll make sure we get a big size one.
Husky kid friendly.
Let's keep friendly, boys.
It's trademarked on here, so no one fucking take that. Anyway, so excuse me. Thirst came out last year. What was your response to that?
It honestly, I had no idea it was going to do as well as it did.
Now I came onto it late, so I don't know what it did. Like,
Yeah, that's true. The Lost Soul video did really good.
Okay.
Because the Century 3 thing, it went viral locally.
Yeah.
And then we had a headlining slot on the Deutschtown Music Festival last year.
Really?
It was like the second best slot on the main stage.
Who else was on there?
Like Andre Casello and the Cool Miners. I don't remember who else.
Yeah, like
the Telephone Line. I don't remember who else besides that.
Wasn't like Grand Piano there? Yeah, I think I remember.
We did something with Grand Piano. It was like Deutschtown goes
They're
downtown.
another unique weird ass band.
I have never seen them live, but I've seen them mentioned in cool places. So.
Yeah, it's like I've never got to see them live either, but but I've listened to some of their music. They're another unique type sound. But so you guys like had like kind of some good feedback from that. Now you said before that Facebook was your main push for Thirst.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Now how would you describe it? Like you were just putting posts out and people were just like sharing it? Is that what you
people
mean?
were just sharing the videos. Yeah,
Okay,
we got
yeah,
a lot of engagement on Facebook. A lot of likes and shares and views. They did really, at least comparatively to what we
what yinz were you doing?
and our expectations, like in tens of thousands instead of hundreds.
and your were you performing like off of
Getting
that?
bigger gigs, getting a lot of paid gigs.
That's dope.
It felt like we were established as a real artist,
Like an actual artist now.
not just an amateur anymore. Yeah.
Now, are you guys going like out of state to perform?
Yeah, we tour. We did a weekender and a 10-day last year, and like we're every weekend in July and August we're going to be out of town.
Really?
Yeah,
Where are you guys going?
mostly Ohio, West Virginia, Detroit, New York and Philly, New Jersey, Maryland.
Now, do you have like some crazy fan base somewhere random?
Cleveland, actually, we always have really great turnouts, and then people know the words when we go to Cleveland.
Really?
Yeah, it's like better than it is here. We don't go there as often, so they're like ready for us, But
That's dope, though.
yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
It has
Yeah.
to be like a crazy feeling to be able to like get up there and like start like performing and like having people like like spitting the shit that you guys are writing.
Oh yeah, it's surreal. It was like Deutschtown was surreal because like it was we were performing for people as far as the eye could see.
Oh yeah,
it was like a sea of people, and they loved it. And people were fucking like put lighters up by the end. Like
I don't know how people can't like get into like wouldn't be able to like get into a good vibe with your music because like it's bubbly.
Everything's
it's, like, bumpy.
upbeat. Everything's
yeah,
upbeat. Yeah,
upbeat.
there's like even when like songs aren't happy, they're at least upbeat.
Yeah, they sound like light and fun, but like you still have that like that's what I was saying, like kind of like you guys have like an aggressive like approach to it. Like you guys come off like on your verses and shit aggressive as fuck.
Yeah, the verses are aggressive, but like the hooks are poppy, and then but then it's like it's upbeat, like you dance to it.
Yeah, that's why I was saying like at first, like whenever I was listening through to all of it, I was like, this reminds me of like like Run the Jewels-ish type because like they're aggressive as fuck.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they just
definitely.
are. They just come in ripping shit apart.
And when it's fast, it's upbeat, and it's they're
and it's fast, and it's just like it reminds me of like a bounce. Like you're just like bouncing with
Mm-hmm.
it, and then like you have like your like the singing in there, and I think it's just like unique, and like I feel like it makes it easy for people that are listening to it to like get involved with it. I'm excited to come see you guys perform because like I could imagine like I can only imagine. I feel like you guys have a cool stage presence.
Yeah, dude. That's something that I'm very proud of that we've developed over the years because we've been performing together for a fucking decade.
You said you're not proud of?
I am proud.
I was like,
is because like, I don't know. I just like we let loose up there. I become a different person, and it sounds cheesy and cliche to say, but like I don't know. It's like. You know, and have you seen Old School?
Yeah.
You know, and when Will Ferrell like blacks out and answers the question, that's what I feel like I do when I perform. Like I just do the thing.
Goes on autopilot.
Autopilot is what I say, and act crazy, and like that's where like the punk really comes out. Is this like it's crazy and there's movements, but it's like there's an aggression to it. It's like there's a melancholiness to the music too. Like I don't know.
Do you ever forget any lyrics?
Sometimes. I think I only forget lyrics when I'm thinking while I'm performing.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking about like, oh, I need a drink, or there's somebody in the crowd, blah blah blah. Sometimes I can do it that fine too.
Yeah.
But every time I fuck up a lyric, it's because I'm thinking about something stupid.
What do you do when that happens? You just go?
Either mumble. I either until
Yeah.
I catch it again, and so hopefully they don't notice that if I mumble, they just thought I was mumbling.
Yeah.
But sometimes Joel being the hype man can catch a lyric, but yeah,
That's a
pretty
good
much
point.
it.
That's a good point. Now,
One of us will catch it usually.
now, what is what's it like for you guys to like? Do you guys play with any live instruments or anything? Like any live band or anything?
Not really. We would like to. It's just hard to coordinate.
I bet it is.
And we, paid gigs. That's more money to split with people.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think for the release show, we're gonna try to at least have a guitar player and like somebody pressing the beat pad stuff.
Yeah, because like I wouldn't even understand. Like I was curious. I wanted to ask you that.
It's usually
because,
just us. It's usually just us.
Yeah, like I wanted to ask you that because like the music is so like crazy. Like I didn't know like how I don't know anything about music, how it's done or anything.
Yeah,
so
we just act crazy, as to complement it. I guess to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Instead of just standing there and singing and rapping.
Now, so this new album that's coming out, Help Yourself, is coming out the 29th?
Yeah, 28th.
28th.
The release party is the 29th.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's where the date was.
No,
So
everyone's flopping those around.
June 28th. Now, you guys did this video, Valley, out in California, and that was... I mean, like, I thought it was such a sick video, and the song is super dope too. And I started getting into the song and listening to that, and I I banged that a few times and listened to that through, and then I started getting into your old shit, and then I heard Willow, and I heard part of Willow is part on Valley.
Yeah, the same
And I was
part.
like, damn, that's fucking sick. Like, I like small things like that, like little like callbacks and shit. So what was the process of like Valley, like as far as like you guys recording that song and you guys making that video?
I just love that beat. We got the beat from Mike Keach. It was the first beat he gave us, and it was like got me so excited to just make the whole fucking album. Like sometimes you get a beat so good it gets you fired up
Sets
to
the
create.
tone.
Yeah, and you just really it gets you. Especially because like doing hip hop is a collaborative thing, so getting Circles was that for me on Thirst. When
Okay.
I got the beat for Circles, I was so excited to just finish the album.
Yeah, the video for that's dope as fuck too.
So I was singing along to it. Usually when I get a beat, I just will sit in the car and try to make up something.
Like a melody or whatever?
Yeah, melody usually only. And I've realized that I could sing the hook to Willow on Valley, just like a different key.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, did he already have that in there, or did you incorporate that in there?
I wanted to. I saw that it fit myself,
Yeah.
and then I asked him if we could sample it. And then
That's dope.
What we did.
That's super dope.
Yeah. So I asked him to sample it, and then I had the hook. I know what it's like, I had that, and I was like, this is so catchy and poppy, and I love it.
Yeah, dude, super catchy. It just gets inside of you.
Yeah, that was the point. And then just like that's usually our creative process with all the songs is I get the beat, I come up with a really good a catchy hook that I think is cool.
Yeah,
and then we write badass verses to it.
Yeah,
that's the rap verses to it. And then sometimes we'll put an extra rap part, or I'll do a little singing thing at the end or whatever.
Now, so
it's kind of a formula.
Whenever you were doing this video, like, how did you decide to shoot it in California?
My little brother is a videographer. He moved out to California a few years ago.
Is that your little brother, Corey?
Yeah, Corey Pitcavish is my little brother.
Oh, see, like, I never knew how to pronounce his last name, but I
it's
followed
mine as well.
I know that now. What's your real first name?
Justin.
Oh, okay, I had no idea. I just knew you as JP, but I followed him actually for a while because I don't remember how I came across him, but then I knew that he was a videographer. Went out there, shit with designer and everything.
Yeah,
and
designer.
Like that's dope. So he was out there, like he lives out there.
He lives out there now. Yeah, he's got a full career out there.
That's fucking sick. And like the video, was that in Venice?
Yeah, Venice Beach.
Yeah, that the video I thought was just so cool. I love like the cuts of it all. I thought the popsicles were so sick. I noticed he was in there eating.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's probably, I think, we put a lot of work. That was the most work we put into a video, and I also think it's the best video that, like, we've made together as a brother team. Because I write and direct them all, with him.
Now, was the one-time video, was that when was that?
The One Piece?
Wasn't there...
One time?
One Piece? The one it looks like it's in California. The dude's wearing a Pirates jersey. Do you have a song called One Piece?
Yeah, One Piece.
Yeah, is there a video?
Nobody's in it though. There's no like we're not in it.
Yeah, no
it's
one's
just like
in it.
vistas.
Yeah, it's just
that's
visuals.
He did that on his own in California.
Oh, okay, yeah. Did you notice that there was a dude wearing a Pirates jersey in there?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, I was watching it and like it's just people walking by on the road, and some dude is it's a dope shot, and he has a all black Pirates jersey, and I was like, that's fucking sick.
Wow, that's pretty funny. I didn't even notice that. That's a cool thing.
See, I do my research for this shit, dude.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. War.
That's my goal in life. That's sick though that he, like, so what was it like growing up with him? Like, was he always into like videos and shit like that?
He didn't get really into making videos until high school.
Okay.
And then I don't know. We've always been like into creative stuff, but
that's dope.
Yeah, he got into videos in high school actually because I was doing music. It's not because he was doing it on his own already, but then he got into music videos because I was doing music, so
that's dope.
We did stuff together then, and then he started working for like people that I knew. I would help him get people, or he'd meet people that knew me.
Yeah, I've watched a few videos that he's done just from following his work.
Yeah,
and it's sick. It's a small world. Didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, we're privileged to have him. He's a big help. It's not like, but I think some people like here. My brother is a videographer in LA, and they think that he's like either some guy that's like older than me and a movie star guy, and it's like, nah, he was living in Pittsburgh just a few years ago.
Yeah, it's it's understandable. It's dope making moves though. I'm curious though. So like you and Joel seem to have like a good rapport with each other. I mean, obviously it seems like at Kensington are on the tracks together, but what's like your process of recording shit? Are you someone that like writes shit down? Are you someone that's just kind of off the top?
Oh, we have to write and rehearse.
Okay.
If we don't write and rehearse, it takes way longer in the studio.
I bet it does.
But like, studio time costs money, and we don't have a lot of it, so we try to make the most of our time in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to rehearse less, and it just would take longer to get the good takes.
Do you guys butt heads at all recording or making?
It would just if anything, it's just like shit isn't rehearsed enough, or maybe like if somebody shows up at the studio with not all their bars ready.
Oh, okay.
That's usually a reason to butt heads. But like as long as everybody's writing and rehearsing, we usually, and like he's okay with my weird choices.
Yeah.
Those are like the only things really. If everyone's working, we're all happy.
That's dope, dude. I'm a big fan. I really am. Genuinely, I am. It's not even just to not even just because you're on here. I enjoy the music. I listened to it again today on my way home from work just to get in the mood. And every song of it, I'm easy. I'm an easy person to skip songs. I'm a fickle person, but I never skipped a song on yours. I
the new one?
Yeah, I genuinely enjoy it. From the beginning to end, I like the placement of the songs, and I heard someone talk about placement of tracks on an album and how much consideration that takes. I heard it on some podcast with some musician.
Oh, it's a big thing.
Yeah, and I never really thought about that because if you have all these tracks that you guys love, how you place them out, how you decide to place them out. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, the sequencing, I think, is what we call it in the biz, and it's like you want to make a movie. An album is very much like a half hour to an hour long movie.
Yeah,
and if you don't pace it right, people will get distracted or bored or whatever. Too many ballads in a row, or if you put all your hitters in the beginning, then no one's gonna listen to the end. I know I put some good ones towards the end on this one, so I hope.
Oh, 100%.
That we can string them. I hope people can get strung along to make it to them.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know that you had Hubs and Momo on there. And whenever you sent me the link and I opened it, I was like, no fucking way. And I almost skipped to that song, but I was like, I'm gonna just let it play through. And I was not disappointed at all.
Yeah, it's like the climax. We actually, here's an insider tip. Fact behind the scenes, we actually had another song that didn't get finished in time that was supposed to be the end song.
Gossip.
Yes, this is exclusive information for only this Call You Right Back podcast.
Oh wow.
So that ended up being the ending. Blister ended up being the ending.
I think that's a good one to end it on.
Because we wanted to have get punched in the face.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like.
Yeah, that's what I want to end with.
It felt like it felt like you leave wanting more. It's like that whole track got done, and you're like, "Fuck!" It ramps up again, and you're just it's like more. You're at the top of the mountain, and you want to go down again for that ride.
I guess you just got to start it over.
You got to start it over, or wait for the next one, the next album. But yeah, dude, I genuinely think that you guys have a super unique sound, and I've never heard anything like it. And I think that you got something good going. I'm excited to talk to Joel and see I had no idea that you were a football player or anything like that. And that's why I do this podcast to learn about people and learn what makes them tick. And
yeah.
You're an interesting dude. It's cool that we have similarities with football and magic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Similarities for sure. I was always just a well-rounded dude that always just I was friends with the weird kids, the gothic kids.
That's how I was too.
The kids that did drugs. I never drank ever. But I was at parties with people and
I was definitely the social butterfly.
Social butterfly, dude. I had a good high school experience.
I did too. As much as people say I hated high school,
I loved it.
I don't think I hated it. I think sometimes now I look back on the negative things, but at the time I was loving it.
Yeah, at the time you're
I was loving the ride. I felt like a cool dude,
Yeah, you weren't we were fortunate enough to not be one of them people that, got fucking shit on.
Or stuck in a clique, I'm very fortunate. I'm glad that I wasn't just a job.
Yeah, just in one clique. Absolutely.
I'm complex.
I wasn't the dude that was just wearing all Hollister Under Armour playing football. I was the dude that was wearing all skateboard clothes, but still the captain of the football team. Just living the dream a little bit.
Horrible fashion sense.
That's all right. I wore I took attaché cases to school and wore suit jackets, and I didn't give a fuck. Well, you sound
like a professional wrestler.
I was. I still might be.
The Big Boss Man.
Big Boss Man. That's my wrestling name for everyone. No, I'm like a Nacho Libre. It's finally revealed on here. Okay, so the ending segment I do with all my guests on this podcast is a segment called Desert Island Questions. Desert Island Questions comes from The Office, and I play it with all my guests.
Okay.
I give you 3 categories to take with you on a desert island, and you get 3 choices for each category. So the first category to take with you on a desert island is 3 things to watch. So whenever I say things to watch, you could take movie series, you could take TV series, you could take YouTube series, you can take whole entire projects, but 3 of them, 3 choices. Go ahead.
Okay, so if I'm gonna pick something to take on a desert island, it better be long.
Yeah.
And what's longer than a show that has been running for 60 years? I'm gonna pick Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. That's been running for 60 years?
Yep, since the 60s.
I've never watched a single episode.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of it.
That's the dude with the phone booth?
Yeah,
Okay.
phone booth guy.
I saw it in
They're a woman now, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Doctor Who is now a woman.
That's the world we're in right
It's
now.
the sign of the times.
Side of the times. Okay, so that's a good choice, smart choice.
Yeah, I'm thinking more practically.
Yeah.
Because you could pick one movie and just watch it over and over and over and hate yourself by third weekend.
That's a good point.
And then, I don't know. I'd probably pick like Evangelion is probably my favorite show anime.
Say it
period.
again.
It's called Evangelion. Evagelion.
What's it about?
I spelled it wrong. It is. It's a really emotional show. But it's about robots fighting. The classic anime thing.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of turns it on its head. Like, are you familiar with Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
So Twin
I
Peaks
got into it.
What Twin Peaks does to like the normal mystery show, this show does to robot shows.
And just puts bizarre, weird shit in there.
Very bizarre,
Like talking to
abstract.
Diane, but never meeting Diane.
Yeah, like just weird stuff. You actually
Reoccurring
do
things.
meet Diane eventually.
Oh, well.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm on like the second to last episode of the first season.
Yeah, I mean, the return is just crazy. The Twin Peaks, the Showtime return is batshit insane.
I heard it was nuts.
I don't know if I even like it. It's just insane.
Well, there was a comedian that I listened to on a podcast. He was in a fucking episode, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I was in the new Twin Peaks," and I was like, "What?" And that's why I kind of got into it, and because we're going to the diner and everything in October. And
I could pick that as my desert. I could put that on my desert island.
yeah, it's a fantastic show. I asked my mom about it, and I was like, "Did you watch Twin Peaks like whenever it was out?" And she was like, "Oh yeah." She was like, "It was the shit." And I didn't know she would watch it. I didn't know she did, but I thought it was great.
Yeah, I could maybe pick that as my third. You know what? Twin
Fuck it.
Peaks,
Go
third
ahead.
it up.
Fuck it. They're pretty long too. Each episode's like
It's
a
an
fucking
hour.
movie.
Yeah.
The first episode is an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, the first episode of the pilot. Yeah, once you get through the pilot, then you're good.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a slog because then you gotta like realize like this is the kind of television that existed back then.
See, I was lucky enough that I knew I was like set to already know that it was weird as fuck, and luckily I like weird ass shit, so it was good. I enjoyed it. But those are 3 good choices. You said you picked that Evangelion, you picked Doctor Who, and Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
that's good choices.
Yeah,
I've only seen one of the choice, but I'll trust
Doctor
you.
Who's good. It's like if you're into sci-fi, it's just like lighter. Like it's not like as hardcore as Star Wars and Star Trek. But there's like a whole universe and everything, I like worlds that I can learn about some obscure character in the corner that's on the screen for 2 seconds, and there's a whole backstory.
Momo was talking
them.
about where his name came from.
Yeah, I have the action figure.
And he was saying that he was like, I was obsessed with Star Wars and I read all the books, and there was a book about the cantina, and like Momo was like one of the main characters.
the
And I was like,
hammerhead
that's
guy.
so fucking sick.
I have the action figure in my living room.
That's dope. All right, second category is now. I usually ask people 3 books to take with them, but you said you're a crazy video game guy, so I'm going to give you 3 video games.
I can do both.
Go ahead with both.
I like books. I would pick The Stand by Stephen King.
Okay.
Which is one of my favorite books ever.
Okay. Quit playing with that.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I would do it at my own home.
I could tell. I could just hear it. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, you can hear it. It picked up.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I have a big Stephen King collection.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. I started reading it. I got about 300 pages in.
Are you going to ask me about the sex scene?
No, I was not, because I didn't get that far.
Oh.
I can't deal with the description, the length of the description that Stephen King uses to write. 15 pages describing what's on a fucking table.
George Martin does it too, though.
I don't read his shit, or I've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones.
Oh, I'm a big fan of that too.
I know you're probably just like everyone else in the world is. I'm probably the only person. I've watched
The books
2
are
episodes.
really good.
I know that.
The show is really good too.
Everyone says it is. I got to get to it.
Yeah, you don't get to it. I didn't watch it till season 5.
Yeah, I'm waiting until I forget everything. I'm going to give it a couple
That's the
years
way to go.
to just simmer
Fresh
down.
it.
Yeah, that's what I did with Breaking Bad and Californication and shit. But anyway, so you said The Stand.
The Stand, yes. And then Dune.
Okay, yeah, I know what that is.
And by Frank Herbert. And third book, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm on the spot now, and I asked for this.
You did ask for this.
I did ask for this. I don't want to say Game of Thrones because it's boring. It's basic.
It's basic. I want to read all the Harry Potters. I'm not a huge reader. I just got into it.
Yeah.
I really want to read all of them.
I'm a binge reader, so I just get on a tear of just crushing books.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all right.
I don't know.
That's all right. You got two
I'll have to come back to
choices.
it. I'll come back
Now
to
go to the video games. 3 video games.
Games, that's easy. Metal Gear Solid, the first one. Final Fantasy 8. And probably Diablo 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those are games I could play till the end of time.
Till the end of time. Those are good choices. I'm not a crazy video game guy, but I know those are good choices. My friends are obsessed with Metal Gear Solid, and I know Rogan was obsessed with Diablo, and yeah, I know that they're good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
AddictingGames.com.
Addicting Games. I remember that website.
The Helicopter Gang will be my fourth choice.
The helicopter game. I remember that now that you say that. My favorite game to play in high school was Balloons. Remember that? Where you shoot that dart at the balloons and you got to pop like a certain amount of balloons.
I don't know.
If you saw it, you'd probably remember.
Oh, yeah.
But okay, so the third category, I'm interested about this. It's probably all going to be Linkin Park, but 3 things to listen to on a desert island.
No, I listen to way more than that now.
I'm just kidding.
I would say artists.
It could be
Or album.
It could be album. If you want to get specific with album, go ahead with that.
Okay. Primal Scream, Screamadelica.
Okay.
Probably one of the biggest influences on my musical output the last handful of years.
Never even heard of them.
Primal Scream,
Never.
British indie band from the late 80s, 90s.
Oh, so I should have heard of them.
And then Pixies,
Okay.
Doolittle.
I like that Where Is My Mind video that you guys got.
That's off of Surfer Rosa, the album before, but Doolittle is really, really good.
Yeah.
Classic. It's an indie classic. And then I feel like I need something rap-based. So I'm going to say Cage, Hell's Winter. And Cage is an indie rapper from the mid-2000s, and he's got like kind of an edgy thing going on.
Never heard of
kind
him
of
either.
indie kind of thing. But yeah, definitely a great album.
Okay.
LP from Run the Jewels produces some things and features on it.
Oh, okay.
A$AP Rock is on it.
Oh, shit.
He's in that gang.
His name's Cage?
Cage.
C-A-G-E?
Yeah.
I'll have to check him out. Okay, second to last question is death row meal. So you could pick whatever you want to eat from as many places as you want. I mean, you know the whole, like, people before they get killed on death row, they get whatever they want.
Yeah.
So just pick your favorite shit.
Favorite foods. I feel like I just want a really, really, really good hamburger.
You hamburger guy?
I'm a big burger boy.
I like burgers.
The like high end, like Wagyu, Japanese beef.
Do you like Burgatory?
I don't.
I think it's trash.
I think it is trash as well. I don't think it's trash. It's just like overpriced.
It's overpriced.
And like,
it ain't
I'd
nothing
only
good.
go there to get some weird meat, which I could go to like burgers or something.
What's your favorite burger?
You mean like meat wise or what? I
No,
usually
like place
Stout?
to go to get them.
Oh man, this is a basic answer, but I used to love going to Red Robin, man, and they changed their formula. And
Yeah, their shit was good.
and now it's ass.
Yeah, it hurts my stomach now.
I went there and like asked for the burger to go back. They gave me a new one, and it still was gross. And I was like, well, then there's something. You guys changed something. I don't like.
No, this is
anymore.
going to be a shock, but I'm telling you, have you ever eaten at Wahlburgers?
No.
Listen to me.
Is it good?
I was like, fuck Mark Wahlberg at this burger place.
Yeah, there's no way it's good.
I went whenever I was in California. We were going to the Comedy Store, and like we got there early, and there was a Wahlburgers like right on the block. It is fucking incredible. I'd pick it over a Five Guys. I'd pick it over any other burger. It's delicious.
There's a really good burger place. I think there's a branch in Lawrenceville now, but it's called Burgers, but it's Burgher. And it's the main one's in Zelienople.
Okay.
And oh my god, they got some great burgers.
Yeah, I like
there.
a burger. Streets on Carson got a fire ass burger too. That was the last thing I ever tried by them, but their burger is pretty good. Okay, so you got a burger. What else?
Man, I don't. I think I'm very much into comfort food, and I think if you ask me what I'd want like a pizza. Want a J&S pizza, which is from my neighborhood back home.
J&S. I feel like I've heard of that before.
Maybe. Yeah, it's from
Maybe
Neutron
my wife
Heights.
told me about it.
Love that pizza. And yeah, those are my main thing. Or like my grandma make me like her normal spiel, you know?
I'll throw the normal spiel in there too.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking die after anyway.
And I want the comfort. I want comfort.
I'll do that.
If I'm not I like a fancy food. I like the only fancy meal I could think about wanting is like either seafood based or like filet mignon is good.
I don't even give a fuck about fancy. I'm just talking about food that like.
What I'm just saying,
love.
like what I would really want
Yeah.
if money was not an object. You
Oh
know?
yeah.
But yeah, I think it'd just be hamburger and pizza. Hamburgers, pizza.
That's those are good choices. Fair points. The last question I ask everyone is: if you had a chance to have a conversation with anyone, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Damon Albarn from Gorillaz/Blur. He's like the main creative guy behind Gorillaz.
Really?
Yeah, it's one guy. Gorillaz is one guy.
Oh, is he?
Well, it's the
only-
artist. The technically the artist is a member of the like Jamie Hewlett, but it's mainly just him. He gets like collaborators and
You
producers.
fuck with Gorillaz?
Gorillaz is like my main dogs, like my main musical foundation.
You like their last album?
Yeah, I liked it more than the one before it.
Yeah, definitely more than the one before it, but it will never beat the original.
The first one is my favorite as well. Demon Days is good. The second one with Feel Good Inc. and all that.
What's the one with Clint Eastwood on?
That's the first one.
Yeah, first
that's
one.
my favorite.
yeah,
it's
with
got
the Jeep on it.
Yeah, because there's like punky songs on there.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
weird.
Just distorted more. That album, that specific fucking album, is like my goal, my musical goal.
Oh yeah,
Because like it's got it all. It's got like hip hop. It's got rapping. It's got punk. It's got electronic elements.
That's a good point.
That is literally it.
that's a good answer too. Damn. Honestly, dude, I had no idea what to expect with our conversation. I had no idea how it would go. I had no idea what you would be like, if you would be a talkative person, if not.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of I got a facade on.
You definitely do. I mean, because I can't tell anything from you, but I honestly think this went fantastic.
No, well,
I'm
a talker.
Very, very happy with this.
I'm a bullshitter.
So take any time, promote whatever you'd like.
I got an album coming out. Well, not me, but BBGuns. I'm in a group called BBGuns. We got an album coming out June 28th. We got videos out, but it's available on all the things.
Help
And
yourself.
Help Yourself is what it's called. And at BBGuns PGH on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah.
And there is a show.
Oh, yeah. Release party is June 29th at Spirit Lodge.
How can people get tickets for that?
they can show up and buy them at the door.
All right, there you go. If you scroll down, as always, you can click on the link. It'll take you right to their page, and you could click on the YouTube link. It'll take you to their new single Valley with a dope video that was shot by his brother. And definitely check them out. I mean, like, it's seriously very, very unique music, but it's great. I really enjoyed it. But thanks for everyone that's listening as usual. I'll call you right back on Instagram. I'll call you right back across the board. Email me. Let me know if there's anyone you'd like me to speak with on here at I'llCallYouRightBack@gmail.com, and I'll get them on here. But thanks for listening, and I'll call you right back.